Hi, welcome back to the final video of Project 3. We're using ES contracts to maintain a constant beta, or at least forecast beta of the portfolio. What I've done here is create a summation table, and this is going to be required for your document. We just put the months down, the value of the portfolio with the contracts that's coming from the port return, and we're looking at the ending value of the month. And then I just simply calculated what the return of the portfolio was without any contracts being used. And we just want to compare these two things in a table format. And then we also want to generate a couple of plots here in this video just to go over what's needed. Remember, look at the project overview. I don't necessarily cover everything in the videos that is in fact required from the project overview. Just to take a quick look at our results, we can see here in January, by maintaining a constant beta portfolio, we had an excess loss, an extra loss of 133,000 compared to if we didn't use the contracts. We have 3 months where we show excess loss, and that means you have 9 months where you actually had an excess gain. Over the life of our evaluation, the contract or the portfolio with the ES contracts had a final value of $57,000 more than if I didn't use any of the contracts in the portfolio. So more money is always better than less money. We did take on excess risk. Well, not excess. We did maintain a constant systematic risk to the portfolio. Typically, I'd like to see something a little bit better than this. And that's when we talk about the issue of change of basis. We developed this methodology based on reliable statistical inferences. But because they're statistical, it doesn't mean they're always going to occur. There's random occurrence that happens around there. And therefore we can end up with an overall period where things don't work out quite so well. In this case, one of the drivers is that the S&P 500 was relatively flat over the entire year, creating a lower net return because our assumption was that you were going to get a 10% return in the S&P 500 over the period, over the annual return over the period. All right, so I'm not going to go into how to create the table. I'll just note what my different values are. This is coming from the port return with contracts. That's going to be the ending value right here. My port value with contracts, I just created a new column in the J column. Make sure you put it in the J column. The first one is the port return, so we have that from over here. We've also calculated this in the second project as well. So if you want, you can copy over into the J column just the raw values. I'm not going to grade the equations. I'm just going to look at your output here. All right, and then it's always good to have a graphical representation of what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and insert, and then we want a line graph, and we can include the points. We want to go ahead and work on our data here. I'm just going to go ahead and remove, let's just remove the difference aspect of it, and then go OK. So this is a comparison of where we stand. Let's put it on just a single chart. And then we want to modify our high and low conditions. It's going from minus $0 up to $6 million. This makes it look like everything's really flat, and we might want to go ahead and give a better view of what's going on. So minimum, let's say, is 4 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that's 4 million, and the high side 5 million looks good. it's going backwards. So this is December versus January. We can go ahead, we can go ahead and adjust and invert this. I'll leave that to you, so that we're going from January to December. Probably the easiest way is just to invert this guy. And in that case, I would just go, I showed you this before, 1, 2, 3, 3, and then go ahead and drag that down to the 12. And then we can just grab everybody and do a sort, or just the smallest. So that's going to give me my January, and then my chart's going to be going in the correct direction. A couple of things you can look at from the chart and might want to comment on. Do we have higher volatility or lower volatility? In other words, is there a standard deviation higher in terms of the value of the portfolio when we use the contracts or when we don't use the contracts? And looking here, I would say it's more volatile. And that actually makes sense because we're taking on more leverage. We're trying to maintain a higher systematic risk. Higher risk means more uncertainty, and therefore we should see more of a bump here. And that's no problem as long as we take on the higher risk, we actually generate some higher return. So we also want to put in, for example, this is the net return on the portfolio. So we might want to go ahead and plot that. One of the requirements is to plot that. So I would just go again, we can just highlight that column and then go under insert, and then we can insert graph with points, and then I can go to my select data and edit that and put the axis label in as the months. And then go ahead and move the chart location to a new chart. You call it anything you want. The charts aren't graded automatically. So we can see kind of some of the higher volatility that's going on here, plotting backwards from December to January. You can create a copy of the material and then sort that copy of the material so that it's going from January to February. Make sure that all your axes are correctly labeled. We've gone through this a couple of different times. You need to start to develop your own capabilities in terms of improving your plot output. And again, the plots need to be integrated and the tables need to be integrated with the actual write-up of the report that comes out of it. And just another comment on the reports. When I talk to people in industry, the two things that they're always looking for, well, three things. They want somebody that's motivated, a self-starter. They want somebody that has the technical skills so that they can sit down and start working on the same day. And they always want somebody that has the communication skills. Somebody that can take technical stuff like this, put it into really precise language so that everybody can understand it, and also be able to present it, stand in front of a bunch of people and do some presentations. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end the video, and our next project is going to be based on a bond portfolio. Thank you very much, and I hope you're enjoying the class and the projects. Have a great day. Bye.